Hello guys, hope everyone is having a good weekend. We had daylight savings time. Unfortunately, I'm not in Hawaii or Arizona. Greg was taunting people because everyone has to change their clocks and sunset was almost at 5, not even, what was it, 4:41 I think tonight. So anyway, that stinks. And it's only the beginning for us in the Midwest right now at the moment. But regardless, I am going to talk quickly about a question my friend had, Bob, who's in one of the Pilot Institute groups, and he was wanting to know how to straighten out a couple of his images. So I figure why not just do a little tutorial? That way I can explain it to others and also share this video with him, and maybe he'll be stoked that I did that. So I'm going to hit Command T, get a new tab. I airdropped his photos to my MacBook, and I didn't even look at them. Well, I did look at them briefly, and I believe they're low-res images, which kind of stinks, but we can at least take a glimpse and open them up in Photoshop. So Photoshop is going to be my weapon of choice. You can do it in whatever you like. I am showing you in Photoshop because this is what I work with, and I think it will give the better results. So what I can do, this image may not be the best. I don't know what he wants to straighten, for example. It looks a little skewed, but I would hit Command J, and let's see. So essentially I'd get a separate layer, Command J. I would hit Command T, which is the shortcut for the transform tool, right over here, and I would go into distort. So I go between distort and sometimes warp in order to do some stuff for getting buildings. Say like this, you're going to look at the buildings. You want to make sure that they're straight. So what I can do is hit Command R. That's going to bring up this ruler where I can drag out a guide. So say I want to drag it out somewhere, maybe over here by this antenna to kind of straighten that out. I don't know. This is kind of not the best image for an example, but I'm going to try my best. Maybe over here as an example, and what I can do is simply pull, straighten out that building, and let's see, maybe something like that. And really, that's it. So let's go ahead and quickly hide the grid lines by hitting Command H, and now we got before, after, before, after. And even that quick little move helps out a lot. We could also bring a ruler out over here and look at this, these little buildings over here, but I'm not going to. And that's enough for this example because it's not the greatest. But as you see, Bob, something very simple will kind of take you from a little bit not so great, like it's an amateur-ish kind of shot, to something that at least looks that much better. Obviously, we didn't do anything in regards to retouching it, but that's another tutorial. So let's go and look at the other image Bob sent. So I'm going to hit Command plus. Whoop. There we go. A little larger. I'm going to hit Command J on a Mac to duplicate the layer, zoom in a little bit more. Now these are kind of complex, weird little images that he wants straightened, but again, same thing. I'm going to hit Command T. That's going to give me the transform shortcut, and then I'm going to go over here into edit, and I'm going to go to distort. And now I'm going to grab this corner, and this looks almost like a warp kind of thing. I'm going to see what happens. I can hit this little guy over here, and maybe just straighten it out. See that? Because this is kind of a unique example, and the warp tool may be really the weapon of choice in this. Now if I bring, I'm going to hit Command R again, and if I bring, say, something over here to kind of match this area here, these building, the bottom of the buildings, and if, say, I go and drag a ruler, whoop, crap, up on here, so I'm going to go in the middle of that ruler, and I'm going to go down here and say something like that. And that looks pretty good, this building. Over here, maybe like that. But again, this is a tricky image. I'm not sure exactly what you would want done with this, other than maybe something like this. So again, Before, kind of wonky. After. And that was with the transform tool and the warp tool. Now let's look at one more image. I'm going to hide Photoshop for a second. And I have this guy, an image of a building that I shot. And say I go ahead and add a little saturation, a little dehaze for the sky, to highlight a little bit, maybe a little brightness, something like that. I'm going to open this. Let me just get this out of a smart object. I'm going to hit Command J, put it on another layer, and then I'm going to hit Command T. And then while I'm doing that, I'm going to bring the ruler guide and I'm going to go right over here to the end of the building. Now look, let me unhide that. Look how short this takes us to do this. So there, maybe it can drag one more out to one of these other verticals. That looks pretty straight though. Maybe over here or something. And then I'm going to do the same thing other than the warp. I'm going to go to distort. Distort is what I use 90% of the time. But like that other example, warp worked well. So boom. Now this is straight. Let me see. Get that guy like that. Maybe pull, I don't know. Let me see. Hold on a second. Let me just hit enter to take the transform. Hide that for a second. Before, after. I think I got this pretty good over here. Let me get these back up and let me put the Command T again and then go into distort. And I'm going to pull this guy over here. So we have this zone equal space all the way down. And let me pull one more of these guides out. That looks pretty good. And this guy looks pretty good for the most part. And that's that. So I'm going to hit enter, hide the grids, and now we see before, after. The building is now standing straight up. It looks a little bit better, and it will separate you from someone who doesn't quite know what they're doing. When you're shooting real estate, I'm not Mr. Pro architectural photographer, but I've done a lot of real estate, and I know that verticals are a big part of this, and same thing applies to a building, other than a kitchen wall or whatever it may be for an interior of a house. So this, again, see how this is leaning? Now we have it nice, straight, vertical, and it will again separate you from the people who are novice and not really aware of something so simple. And again, it does not take you a long time to do this. So Bob, I'm hoping this helps you, and I hope this can help other people who are possibly getting into drone real estate or just wanting to shoot images of cities or whatever it may be with a little bit more professionalism, and just to polish up, it does not take a long time. So hope that helps, guys. Subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, and aloha. Bye.